The following program deals with mature subject matter and contains scenes with sexuality. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hecky baby, how's it going?
The name is Hecuba, you double-crossing miniature Judas.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
She's mad, Timmy, boiling mad, because she didn't get away with boiling me alive. I've outsmarted her once again. You'll regret this, both of you. Au contraire, Hecuba. As a matter of fact, I think I shall remember your defeat tonight as one of my biggest triumphs. We'll see how cocky you are when my spell takes effect. Wrinkles and warts, wattles and wens. Turn Tabby and Timmy into hens.
Timmy heard that. Can Hecky really cast a spell on Timmy and Tabitha from inside the bottle?
Oh, I don't think so, Timmy, but we'll find out, won't we?
No sign of Hecuba anywhere.
The light from the magic box did what it was supposed to do. Destroyed evil in its lair.
So let's get out of here already.
Not without Charity.
Oh. Right.
Charity, where are you? Can you hear me?
Miguel, I hate to say it, but isn't it possible that the light from the box thought Charity was evil too and destroyed her along with Hecuba?
Don't let him get to you, Ethan.
Why would he warn me that I'm to blame if something happens to Sheridan and Louise?
He's just upset about them getting to the Crane archives.
But he said it so ominously. I mean, like they're gonna be dire repercussions.
He's trying to rattle you. Not that this makes any sense, but I think he's angry with you for not being his son. He didn't know what he was saying.
Teresa, I know him better than you. Julian never says anything without a reason. You know, I'm not gonna be okay with this until I talk to Sheridan firsthand and find out what happened at the Crane archives.
What about Chad and Whitney? I mean, they think we're coming back to the hospital.
Well, I'll catch up with you later at the hospital.
No. We'll check on them later. I'm coming with you.
Julian and Alistair may rule in the financial world, but when it comes to us, they have no clout whatsoever.
Tell them that. You've admitted that they've gone to extreme lengths to cover up what happened to your father, but who's to say what they'll do to us to keep us from finding out what it was? I know you'd probably rather be waiting on your DNA results right now.
First things first. We're gonna make sure that your mom is okay. And then we can deal with finding out who my parents are. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just wondering why it took me so long to realize how great you were.
You were scared?
Yeah, but there was no reason to be. Now I know that being with you was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Sam, could it be true? Could my wife have had a baby before we were married?
Well, it's crazy, TC. Well, she would have told you.
Not if the man she had a baby with was Julian. Come on, Sam, think about it. Chad knows his father was white, and he also thinks his mother is African American. You know, that would explain a hell of a lot of times I caught Julian all over Eve.
What are you doing yourself here? Come on, you're upset because Eve fainted. I mean, that's what's making your imagination run wild.
Sam, is that it?
I think so.
Or has the truth been eyeballing me all along? Could Eve be Chad's mother?
When you think about it, there is an amazing symmetry here at work. Julian loses the son he thought he had with me, his wife, only to find he has another son by his African-American ex-mistress.
Shut up.
Oh, no. I have only just begun, Eve. Oh, it's all so fitting. You, the high and mighty doctor, so quick to point a finger at me because of my past with Sam? Well, I just wonder how TC's gonna feel when he finds out that you not only slept with Julian, but you had a son with him and never said a word. You heard.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places, and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of the bird I knew could take me highest. Breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
Grace. Well, you weren't supposed to hear that, Grace. Not that it matters all that much.
You can wipe that smug smile off your face, Ivy. Eve told me the whole story.
I see. Including the fact that you have been torturing her for months over her long-ago affair with Julian. You know, a short time ago, I wouldn't think you were capable of such cruel things. But I certainly know you are now. What's it like, Grace? Feeling so above it all. Well, I wonder how you'd feel if you knew that Eve hadn't told you the complete story.
What is she talking about, Eve?
Relax, Grace. It was just a hypothetical question. You know, but I'm glad you're here. Because it gives me the chance to tell you how sick and tired I am of you blaming me for all your problems.
How dare you! I lost my baby because of you.
The truth about Sam and me was bound to come out sooner or later. I'm sorry you miscarried, but that doesn't give you the right to go around threatening people, pretending you can put curses on them.
I curse you, Ivy Crane. I curse you to suffer the same pain that you have caused me 1,000,000 times over. You caused me to lose my baby, and now you will pay. I curse you!
You just spend your time more wisely thanking your lucky stars that Sam still loves you.
Don't you dare tell me how I should feel about my husband.
I was thinking, wouldn't it be something if I was wrong about my old man?
How so?
Like you kept reminding me, the only thing that Crystal told me for sure was that my mom was alone when she had me. So maybe that doesn't necessarily mean that my father took off because he was a racist. Maybe there was some other reason.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there had to have been some good qualities about the man for your mom to want to have a baby with him.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Let's hope they're both cool. Maybe the kind of people that your parents would want to hang with.
And wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, if they was all rooting for us, think of how much we could see each other.
TC, what's going on here? I mean, you can't possibly believe a word that's coming out of your own mouth.
Sam, I don't want to believe it, but I just can't shake it. Eve and Julian. Julian and Eve. It would have happened before we met. That would track how old Chad is. Oh, no.
Calm down.
Sam, all I've been thinking about is how this would affect me and Eve. I never thought about how it would affect the girls.
Easy here.
Sam, easy. If Chad turns out to be Eve's son, he is too close for comfort.
Look, you can take this one in the bank. I'm not going to let anything happen to us.
Please don't let that be Julian.
Who's there? It's Ethan and Teresa.
Thank goodness. Hi. We're sorry it's late. Come on in. We were up. You want some coffee?
No.
No, thank you.
Look, we ran into Julian downtown. So what's going on?
Why? What did he say to you?
Well, not a whole lot. He was just still ranting and raving about me giving you the security card so you could get into the Crane archives.
How did he know that you'd been in there?
Oh, it's a long story.
We avoided being busted the first time, but we had a royal run-in with Julian on the return visit.
Well, why did you risk going back?
I was looking for a file on Martin Fitzgerald.
Papa? Why would the Cranes keep a file on Papa in their top secret vault?
Well, that's what I was hoping to find out.
Only it was too late. By the time we got there, the files are being shredded by one of Julian's lackeys.
What do you think they were trying to cover up?
About murder. Interesting cake. Did you make it yourself?
Wish I could take credit, but it was sent over from the main house. It was such a nice surprise to come home.
What's wrong?
Boys.
It's an iffy proposition. What was Sheridan always on one diet or another? What if she didn't eat enough of the arsenic-laced treat? She could get very sick. Die a slow, painful death, no matter what Father says. She's my sister. It's far too grisly. It has to be something clean and quick. No prolonged suffering. Gee, this might be the ticket. Might hire someone to fix brakes on Sheridan's car before she and Luis go out for a romantic evening's motoring.
What's wrong?
The brakes! They're not working!
No. The light from the box would never have hurt Charity. It would have known that she's possessed and passed her by. It would have known that there's no one alive more beautiful or good than she is. I shouldn't have said that. You're amazing too, Kay. I'll never be able to thank you enough for coming down here with me. For risking your life to save mine.
I'd do it again, Miguel.
I believe you would. And I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Even if Charity comes back.
No, not if. All right, Charity's got to come back. I'd die without her. Wait. What if Charity got out on her own? And what if Charity's already at the house waiting for us right now? Maybe she's already there.
Oh, my spell worked! You're a chicken! In your dreams, Hecuba. I can see Timmy's still a bit wonky about you. But I have a hunch that as long as you're in that bottle, your powers are zilch. Am I right, old girl?
Who are you calling old?
Well, you know I dream of Jeannie, that's for sure. Laugh now, Tabitha, but you'll get yours for tricking me. And you too, Timmy. You don't know who you've double-crossed.
She seems pretty schemed, Debbie.
Well, fat lot of good it'll do her in there. Once we get her home, we'll stick her in a drawer and forget about her. Forget she ever made a visit. As long as we keep that stopper jammed in that bottle, she can't do anything to us. Heck, your witching days are over, dear. Ah!
Don't you talk to me about my husband. You know, I find it interesting that you still call him your husband, considering the way you've been rejecting him. You? Oh, no, no, no. Please, Saint Grace doesn't use that kind of vocabulary. She's far too virtuous for that. Or is she? I mean, what kind of a woman turns her back on a decent man who has loved her loyally and faithfully for years? What? Oh, let's see. The hypocritical kind?
Ivy, just stop it. This isn't getting us anywhere.
What's the matter, Eve? You worried about your own dilemma coming out?
Yes, Ivy, if you must know, I am worried. Because if Chad's DNA test proves that he's my son by Julian, my life is as good as over.
Hey, Daddy, is everything all right?
Did they find out what happened to Dr. Russell?
Yeah, the doctors, they're checking on her, but everything should be fine.
Then why do you look so upset?
Oh, sweetheart, I'm just still a little shaky from when your mom passed out. So, what's up with you two?
Nothing much, just waiting to hear about Dr. Russell. Waiting for my DNA results.
Yeah, I know you're getting tired of waiting on him.
I'm getting used to it.
Yeah, so, I've noticed how tight you two have been lately.
Daddy.
Yo, Coach, I thought everything between me and you was copacetic. You ain't got a problem with me and Whitney being friends, right?
Friends? No, I ain't got no problem at all, you two being friends. Just want to make sure you two are not dating.
Oh, no, Daddy, we're not dating.
Well, that's good. Real good. So, hey, Chad, good luck, okay? All right.
You want to tell me what that was all about?
I think he's just nervous that I'll let up on my tennis if I get involved with a guy.
Well, I guess neither one of us exactly told him where we stood.
Well, I didn't exactly lie. I mean, we haven't actually been on a real date.
Yet.
Tell me you didn't just pop off your mouth to the kids.
And tell them what I was really thinking? It would freak them out to find out they might be half brother and sister. No, Sam, I have to find out for sure.
Look, you're not gonna find out anything, because it's the craziest damn thing that I've ever heard. Look, even if by some miracle Julian turns out to be Chad's father, what makes you think Eve could be the mother?
Sam, I'll tell you. Before Eve fainted, she was watching some sleazy show about how women have secrets and destroy their family. I mean, she was so caught up in this thing, I tried to say her name. She didn't hear me. Then she turns around and says, I'm sorry, and just collapses.
Well, she could have.
Oh, by the way, Sam, that she was murmuring Julian's name.
That doesn't mean anything, PC. What are you talking about?
All right, Sam, explain this. One time I caught Eve and Julian talking about some lost baby. I mean, they could have been talking about somebody else, but the more I think about it, the more things turn to where I don't want to look. As crazy as it sounds, it just keeps pounding away in my head. Chad could be Eve and Julian's son.
Too many things can go wrong in a car crash. There must be some less ghoulish way to carry out Father's orders. I didn't feel guilty enough.
Surely you've heard the expression, you can run, but you cannot hide?
Excuse me?
You sound familiar.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
No, I don't think so. You were on the verge of giving in to a very evil impulse.
I beg your pardon?
Do not add to your guilt by lying to a man of God. You must reconsider what you are contemplating. If you do not, if you commit this act that you are considering, your soul will be damned forever. Take heed, my friend.
You seriously think the Cranes murdered your father?
Well, they did something to him. Well, they wouldn't have gone to so much trouble to keep me from knowing what it was.
There are pages missing from my mother's diaries. We're pretty sure that they're about Martin Fitzgerald.
Yeah, and why else would Julian have had my father's file shredded without letting me see it?
Because that's what the Cranes do. I mean, they value privacy above all else.
That's true.
Look, Louise, I'm not defending them. I don't have to, not anymore. But I know from a lifetime of being one of them what they do. And they are totally paranoid about anyone knowing anything about their business.
And if anyone knows what they're capable of, you do.
Don't. Louise, Ethan is on our side.
I'm not saying that he isn't. It's just that old habits die hard, and he's definitely in the habit of being one of them.
You're right. And I'm not going to deny that. It's going to take me a while before I start thinking of myself any other way. But your sister's right. I'm on your side just like Sheridan. So what else do you think they're up to? Besides covering up the truth about your father?
We were just discussing that.
I keep telling Louise that Julian and Alistair will go to any lengths to get what they want.
That's how they've risen to the top and stayed there. By methodically eliminating any threat to their supremacy.
You mean like how they did my father?
I'm talking about their cutthroat business practices, not real life.
You honestly think that Alistair and Julian can differentiate between the two?
I still think it's kind of whack that your dad just asked us about our love life out of the blue like that.
Well, look, you don't know him like I do, okay? I bet he's just been building up to the question for weeks.
I don't know. Get the feeling he's bugged out about a lot more than your mom fainting right now.
You're talking nonsense here, TC. I mean, Eve may have a secret or two, but hell, everybody does. I mean, hers is along the line of how much she paid for her last pair of shoes rather than having an illegitimate baby. Now, if she had a child before she met you, she would have told you.
Not if the baby was fathered by Julian Crane. She knows how much I despise and loathe him.
Which is what I think this is all about. I mean, your hatred for Julian is starting to mess with your mind. I mean, we're talking about Eve here. One of the two best women to ever walk God's green earth. Not to mention being one of the most respected people in this community. Now get a grip. Hasn't Julian taken enough of your life already without you letting him take even more? Now, I promise you, there is a logical explanation for each and every question you got running through your head.
Maybe. But Sam, I am not buying it until I know for sure.
Eve, I know how scared you are, but I still think you should tell TC about Julian before someone else does.
You really see me as the big bad wolf in all of this, don't you? I am not going to tell anyone.
Look, whether Ivy does or not, he could still find out from someone.
But what if I tell him, Grayson, and then we find out that Chad isn't my son?
Well, I'm with Eve on this one. TC is not going to take the news of an old affair between his wife and Julian lightly. There will be hell to pay. Well, I think it's better if Eve just keeps her mouth shut until she knows whether Chad is really her son or not.
Of course Ivy believes in keeping secrets, but I don't. I have seen what they can cost firsthand. Oh, look, Eve, I love you, and I don't want to see you lose what I've lost. Now tell TC about you and Julian and your fears about Chad.
You told me if Charity'd never come to Harmony, you and I would be together now.
She's not up there. Any luck?
No. I checked out back, too. She hasn't been here, Miguel.
I even looked in her closet, and there's no fires, no demons, no sign of Charity anywhere. Maybe we left the cave too soon.
Oh, we weren't getting anywhere there.
I guess. I was just so sure that once we attacked the evil where it lived, Charity would have escaped somehow. What if I've lost her, Kay? And what if I have to live the rest of my life without her?
Come on, Timmy. Let's get out of this snake pit.
Timmy's coming. Cave full.
Whatever that is, put it down. The last thing we need is souvenirs from this hellhole.
It's just a penny.
I wouldn't keep $100 bill if it had belonged to Hecuba. Now drop it.
But Princess...
You're hiding something from me, aren't you? Show me your hand. My. If it isn't Kay Bennett's wretched little soul. And just what exactly are you planning to do with that?
Timmy was going to give it back to Kay. It won't help her get McGill. But maybe it'll help her find some hope.
Not so fast. Mr. Finders is not always Mr. Keepers. And this could come in very handy.
Timmy wonders if the bad times will ever be over.
Well, I certainly hope not, lad.
Evil is lurking, just looking for a place to light. And if you don't tell TC about Julian, you are giving it just the opening it seeks.
Okay, enough of this religious mumbo-jumbo. Father Lonigan tried to scare me with the same argument.
It's out there, Ivy.
I admit, I almost fell for it when he used Ethan as an example. But as it turns out, Ethan is just fine. Okay, he lost the Crane name, but Ethan and Teresa have never been happier. So I just say pooh to all of these dire warnings of impending evil. I'll just take my chances.
Well, then you are a fool, as well as a fraud. You don't think there's anything out there. But it is. And it's gonna strike you when you least expect it.
Don't worry about me, Grace. And Eve, don't let Grace scare you. You are a doctor. You know better than to buy into all this nonsense about evil she's spouting.
Hey, don't get crazy on me now, all right? You're only gonna upset Eve when she's already feeling a little shaky.
Sam, I need to find out if I'm right.
Okay, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna barge in the exam room and ask Eve if she had a baby with Julian Crane and forgot to tell you about it? Give me a break.
I don't know what I'm gonna say, all right? But I need to find out. And I hope I'm wrong. Because if I'm not, God help us all.
I know where you're coming from, Luis, but I seriously doubt Julian and Alistair would go so far as to kill someone.
Or maybe you're just a little too close to see what's so obvious to everyone else. Look, if you ask me, your ex-family is capable of anything if push came to shove.
Yeah, well, and maybe you've hated the whole family so long, you're the one who can't see things too clearly.
All right, both of you, please. This isn't getting us anywhere. Let's just talk about something more pleasant.
Yes. You know, like the fact that now that Ethan and I have gotten our blood tests out of the way, you know, we can get married as soon as we want.
Well, that's wonderful.
You're lucky, man.
Don't I know it?
I just can't believe my little sister's getting married.
I just wish Papa could be here. You know, I keep having this fantasy that maybe Papa's still alive somewhere. You know, he'll hear about the wedding and he'll come home just in the nick of time.
Listen, it's a nice fantasy to believe in.
Well, maybe Antonio will make it.
That's your brother, right?
He's been MI for years. I guess anything's possible, isn't it?
Well, it is, Luis. This is going to be the most perfect wedding ever. And did we tell you that Chad's agreed to be Ethan's best man?
That is, if he's not getting married himself.
What's this?
Well, we've been working on Chad and Whitney, so we'll have to see. But, at the very least, Chad should know the names of his mother and father by then.
Now that your dad's gone, can I hold your hand again?
I don't see why not.
I could look at you forever. I mean, I always thought you were beautiful, but...
Oh, no, you did not. When we first met, you couldn't stand me.
No. I think it was more like the other way around. Right? Am I right?
Okay, all right, yeah, I do kind of remember.
Excuse me. Watch where you're going.
Me? Why don't you watch where you're going?
Well, look, if I was acting tough around you, that's all it was. An act. Truth is, every time I see you, my knees turn to jelly.
Come on. You, I mean, ultra cool Chad Harris.
Yeah, I wish. You know, never in a million years did I ever dream back then that I'd be holding your hand right now. Or anything else.
You know, I don't know why I give a fig about what happens to you, Eve. Go ahead. Listen to your best friend. Tell TC all about you and Julian. You know, it really would be to my benefit. You would be replacing me as Harmony's Scarlet Woman.
Don't listen to her, Eve. She just wants everyone else to be as miserable as she is.
No, it's okay, Grace. I'm gonna tell TC.
Grace, shouldn't you be in bed?
So what's going on?
That's what I want to know.
Oh, Dr. Robbins gave me a clean bill of health. He's waiting for the blood test that he took.
Good.
I need to
So
talk
what's the
to-
deal with Chad? Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's all right. I mean, you're upset. What is it?
I want to know who Chad's parents are.
Almost forgot to thank you for creating an escape opening for Timmy and me. I didn't do it for you, and you know it. I made that door so I could get away from the golden light in the box. Didn't think that one all the way through, did you, Heck? Come on, Timmy. The sooner we get out of this dump, the sooner we'll forget it ever existed.
Does Princess really think Jimmy and Tabby are home free?
Do you really have to ask? Heckaba is about as threatening as a can of peas right now.
What if Hecuba gets her powers back? And she casts a spell on Princess and her Tim Tim.
Not to worry, lad. As long as she's contained, she's impotent. That's what they said about Hannibal Lecter.
She's scary!
Don't worry, lad. She always was a sore loser.
Where could she be? Could we have left her down there in the cave? I mean, why didn't we see her again, or at least hear her?
Well, there is one possibility.
No, don't say it. Right, she is not dead. She can't be.
It's not that I want my cousin to be hurt, but if she never came back, then I'd have a chance with Miguel. What am I saying? With Hecuba gone, I'm never gonna get my soul back, and without that, I'll never have Miguel. Ethan and I have been through enough. Nothing's getting in the way of a perfect wedding.
I'll second that.
So will I. I want my little sister to worry about anything.
It's a deal. If you promise me you won't worry about the Cranes.
Deal.
Please don't come after Luis, Julian. Please leave us alone.
Why'd you stop? I don't see my dad anywhere or anything.
This ain't really the time or the place. Besides, I wonder where your dad went to.
He's probably still checking on my mom. You're worried about what he said to us earlier, aren't you?
Well, I just don't know what brought it on. He seemed all shook up when he asked us if we were going out. Like he really hoped we weren't.
Look, it's just that Daddy still thinks of me and Simone as his little girls. That's all. He's gonna come around when we break the news. You know that he likes you.
Yeah, as long as I'm only your friend. I mean, I have no idea how he's going to take it when he finds out how I really feel about you.
Well, let's just not worry about that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Got other things to think about. Like who my mother and father turn out to be. Man, I'm scared.
Hey, you don't need to be. Because I'm gonna stick right by you, whoever your parents turn out to be. Why don't we head on back to the research room now?
I don't understand.
I want to know who Chad's parents are, Eve.
You sound like Chad. I keep telling him he's gonna find out sooner or later.
I want to know now.
But my blood work...
Well, I'm sure that Dr. Robbins will find you in the research room if he needs you. Come on, Eve. Let's go see the results of Chad's DNA test work right now.